Welcome to Tales to Astonish, CBN's deep dive into everything that's been lost, cancelled, or teased. The shows that never came, the games you never played, and the movies that you never saw that you actually wanted to see but were never released. A library of video games, TV shows, and features of our favorite Marvel Comics characters that never were. This time we're going to travel back to the early 1980s and dive into the lost Daredevil cartoon. It's a crazy take on the character and why it was really put out to pasture. Just a few years ago, Charlie Cox's Daredevil made the Devil of Hell's Kitchen a near household name. We got 3 seasons of what many consider to be the best superhero television show ever produced, and although there was clearly more to come, it met a unceremonious demise. We are all even awaiting his rumored return in almost any upcoming Marvel Studios project. It's pretty clear people want their Daredevil back. Now, before we dive into the whole story, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. Also, don't forget about the big giveaway. We got a PlayStation 5 to give away at 25,000 subscribers. All you need to do to get in on our giveaway is be a subscriber and leave us a comment. Also, while you're at it, make sure you check out that free week of Skillshare down below. It's a spectacular way to develop all of your superhero skills for that never-ending war on crime, all while not diving too deep into your pocket. Plus, it really does help the channel, so we really appreciate it. Now, back in the late 1970s and early 1980s, Marvel had a whole series of cartoons based on their characters. The Fantastic Four, Spider-Woman, Hulk, and of course Spider-Man, twice actually, all got their own turns to shine. Well, it appears ABC actually had some serious and very interesting plans for the Devil of Hell's Kitchen, and they were also developing a Saturday morning cartoon based on this property, but not without some changes to the classic hornhead we all love and know. Matt Murdock is, of course, a lawyer who secretly prowls the rooftops of Hell's Kitchen and pummels criminals at night. But by day, his life is quite different than the comics. There is no Foggy Nelson or Karen Page from what I can tell. Instead, he hangs out with his teenage niece, and more interestingly, his seeing eye dog Lightning. Now, this is no normal seeing eye dog, because when Matt becomes Daredevil, his canine companion leaps into action as Lightning the Superdog. What were the superpowers the dog had? Well, we had no idea. I did look into it and there's really not much out there. It does get even better, so put on your crash helmet. These 3 are a crime-fighting trio and take to the streets in Daredevil's specially equipped crime-fighting battle van. And the details about the van are one of the most Saturday morning cartoon things ever. Once they find a crime that is happening amongst the many rooftops of New York City, Matt heads to the back of the van for the big surprise. And when it's big. A giant freaking cannon unfolds out of the top of the van, and it launches him like a big carnival, well, Daredevil. Yep. Just like that, the human cannonball known as Matt Murdock would rocket up and onto the roofs to battle evil. Word is, the dog was actually along for the ride, but he voted against it. One other detail here too, stop and think about this for a minute. Who is driving the van? The blind guy, the underage girl, or the seeing eye dog? Now, Marvel executive Tom Brevoort shared some presentations done by John Romita Sr. that gave us an idea of what the series would have looked like. Let's check them out. The images are pretty interesting and not exactly what I had in mind, but I do find the idea of Daredevil having a sidekick in the form of a dog fairly interesting. Now clearly this series was for a younger demographic, and you can look to maybe the Hulk and the Spider-Man shows of the era to get an idea of what it would have probably looked and felt like. I'm pretty sure as a kid I would have loved it. So what happened to this masterpiece? Well, there are mixed reports even from the same source. Now, Marvel's executive editor, Tom Brevoort, did say on Twitter that Frank Miller's Daredevil Born Again line may have killed it, specifically the cover of Daredevil 184. The cover featured Daredevil wielding a .357 Magnum, along with the caption, "No more Mr. Nice Guy." According to Brevoort, the cover by Miller and Jansen killed a Marvel cartoon show over at ABC. But He does point out a little caveat on his blog. According to him, the brass over at ABC was going through some changes, and these things often see projects sidelined due to preferences of the new executives. It's quite common that this type of situation sees projects completely shelved and are never seen again. That is the most likely scenario here. It's really a shame the Daredevil cartoon never happened, because it would have been interesting to see this character develop differently out of the Frank Miller era. It's also a bummer Matt never got a four-legged superdog partner. I mean, we got Pizza Dog now. It's not too late to introduce Lightning into the MCU in that Daredevil reboot. Am I wrong? Sound off in the comments below. Hey guys, make sure you check out the other videos in this series, the Long Lost Hulk video game and the live-action Submariner series that almost came to life twice. Peace.